Yo, so this is part two to one of my previous videos. I think it was called "What Does Self-Love Look Like for Me?" In that video, I basically talking about um, like how self-love is an action, it's showing up for yourself, it's sacrifice, it's doing stuff for your future self, even if you right now are struggling or tired or whatever. Like the example I gave in that one was like, say like tomorrow morning you got to wake up early but you don't. But say it's the night before though, but you don't have lunch yet. You gotta make your lunch, but you don't feel like it because you're tired, because you probably go to sleep. But it's like, you know what? I'm gonna make this for my future self, so that I don't gotta wake up and um, tired and have to make my lunch. Like, oh, I gotta do this, and there's another thing on top of my morning, whatever. That was just one example. Also, that's not like that. That was just one example, basically. That was just one example of like self love for me. But anyway, in this part two, I want to talk a little bit more. I think it was a few points that I missed. I wrote down some stuff. But let me see. One of the things I wanted to say was that, yeah, this is kind of going off the last video, but yeah, it's like through self love, it's like I know that I don't need anything outside of myself. I don't need anything outside of myself to heal, even, and especially. Um, it kind of I think of like, like one of those RPG games like, or like Fortnite or something, to where you in a battle, you shooting whatever, and then you get knocked down, and you got teammates, but you knocked down, but you need one of your teammates to come over and revive you, do a little thing, and then boom, you back. It's like for me, through like self love, I've basically learned about how, like, a hack, like a life hack, which is basically it's like self revival, self healing. You can heal. You really can heal yourself. You know. And the thing is, like, I think I'm not saying you shouldn't get help. If you have a therapist, that's great. If you got somebody you should talk to, that's amazing. People will help. People can help so much. But at the end of the day, you do the healing. Nobody can do the healing for you. You know. So, um, yeah, we can have help along the way, and it helps a lot. But you are the one who is doing the inner work at the end of the day. Nobody can do that for you. Nobody's inside your head. Nobody knows you like you know you. Only you know how you think, how you are. Maybe things you don't tell people, the things that you deal with, keep inside. Only you know. So only you can deal with it. So I just want to emphasize that. And then another thing was through. So in the last video, I was talking about self-love and how I feel like I don't need anything outside of myself. Basically, I also wanted to say, like, through me loving myself and having compassion for myself, I've definitely feel like I'm more loving and compassionate for other people as well. Because I see it as like, so with my many conceptions about God, one of the main ones for me is that, we're all connected. We're all connected. And, it's a vast ocean of consciousness, of spirit, of source, of God, whatever you want to call it. And we're all just individual expressions of God. And I feel like um, with that concept of God, like, it's like I feel like with like love, I feel like one love, like we're all connected. You know, it's not that we're all like it is both true that, like, we are individual expressions of God, but it's also like we're all connected through that, though. You know, so I don't know. It's just that's something a point I wanted to make. That it's like I see, like, when I interact with, it's like through loving myself and knowing myself, I feel like that helps or affects positively my interactions with other people. Because I can think of so many examples, like like um like a while ago from my old apartment. Um so I was probably living in that apartment for like a year. One day, so I was just heading home. I was heading home from the park or work or something, I forget. But I'm hitting home, and basically to get to my apartment, it's like, excuse me, it's like this road I go down, and then it's like a kind of like a, it's not like a sharp turn, but it's like it's a blind turn, so you can't really see exactly what's on the right side of it. Um, and for me, usually because I'm used to, I know the way. Usually, I just go. I don't go like super fast enough. And it's still a blind turn, but I know it's no cars right there. So usually, I just go down and then just and then just go. I don't slow down as much. So anyway, I was driving. I was just trying to get home. My apartment was literally right there, like right down the street. I was right there. So basically, I'm going down the street, and it's this car just going slow, like hella slow, like slow, like approaching the corner. I'm like, yo, come on. Like my immediate reaction was like, come on, yo. Like I ain't hawking nothing. It was just like, yo, like, what is you doing? Like, just go ahead. Like, just turn right there. You going hella but I ain't gonna, it was long though. It was probably like 15 seconds, just going slow. Like, come on, yo. It's like that. That's like how I was. Um, so I was frustrated at first, but then I realized I was like, yo, that was literally me. Like my first week living here, when I first made that first turn down that street, and I didn't know that it was fine. That like I didn't have to stop. I could just go. I definitely slowed down. I mean, I didn't slow down that much with 15 seconds, nothing. Um, but that was me. I slowed down. So it's like when I looked at that person, I was getting frustrated after having my experience of just living there and knowing the roads and stuff. Usually, like I said, I just go down. I know I don't got to stop. Just go around. But it's like, you know what? I literally just got mad at another version of me, or like a previous version of me. It was just like, wow. It was kind of like a full circle moment. Um, and in that moment, like I said, initially I was like upset. But I was like, you know what? That was literally me. You know what? Just like how I give myself grace, I'm gonna give this person grace. Like I get it. You going up to the street. It's a blind corner, so you can't see if cars coming. It's not a stop sign, so it's like there's nothing saying you got to stop. But I understand the apprehension of not being able to see around that corner. You feel me? Um, so yeah. Um, and then, oh, and one thing I want to make clear is like, so with that being said, of like, self love, me loving myself, is like, it's like I'm just exuding love for like everybody else and much more compassionate for everybody else as well. It's like, don't get it fucked up. Like, like being loving and compassionate don't mean niggas is a pacifist, like non-violent or some shit. Like that's me personally. That's me personally. Um, generally, yeah. Like I'm passionate and loving and love people and everything, but if I gotta defend myself, that's a different story. Being a spiritual warrior don't mean the pacifist. You know what I mean? So especially if you come from one of mine, me and mine. Um, but yeah, I just want to say that because like, no, don't get it twisted. Like, yo, um, I know when to switch up my energy to face a situation. You know what I mean? So that's basically what I want to say with that. And I think my last point, I probably should have said this earlier, but basically, I know that in the past, I used to, I probably have experience already, but I was kind of conditioned. I was in an environment where I was kind of conditioned to be like a people pleaser in order to like keep the peace and like kind of get by. Um, and yeah, I just don't resonate no more with self love. Just naturally, just stuff will fall away from how like stuff that doesn't resonate, like stuff from your old life, old ways of being, old ways of thinking, old behaviors, self limitation. It just like self love is just naturally just disintegrates anything that is causing you to not love yourself in the capacity um, that you do love yourself or can love yourself, or anything that's holding you back. Um, and part of people pleasing is like you're putting people first. You're putting others first. You know, my situation, I was in a living situation where I could have got like kicked out the house if I spoke up, which is crazy. That's a crazy thing to say. If I spoke up and actually stood up for myself and called shit out that wasn't right, niggas probably would have got kicked out the house. So in that situation, I was younger. I just adapted and be like, you know what? I'm keeping it to myself. I'm not saying nothing. I'm gonna just say okay and do what I'm told because I don't want to get kicked out of the house. Because where am I gonna go? Other places, but it's like I already have my situation and stuff going on here where I'm at, and it's like for that to leave all this is anyway. Um, yeah, so it was like putting other people first in order to keep the peace, and that just don't resonate no more. And it's like with self love, it's like you put yourself first. Like part of this the whole process for me is like putting myself first for the first time. You know, before going from being a people pleaser, being too humble, too selfless, you know, to the point where you doing stuff for other people to your own detriment. So it's like you put other people first. It's like nah, I don't even think like that. No, it's not even a consideration. Um, like I'm putting me first now. And when I first started doing that, it felt part of me felt like I was doing something wrong, or like am I being mean, or am I being selfish, or am I being? It's like nah, nigga. Like for the first time, you putting yourself first. Like and it's that's crazy to that's like putting yourself first, feeling like you're being mean is crazy. Like looking back, that is crazy, you know. But I had to go do that. I had to experience not putting myself first, so that now I'm definitely prioritizing putting myself first, you know. So, but yeah, put myself for the first time, and yeah, I just highly encourage y'all to do the same. Putting yourself first because you deserve it. You deserve it. You know, you came here to evolve. You know, like I said, like you know yourself best. Don't nobody got you like you got you. You know. Yes, you have loving people that love you very much, but you gotta love yourself more than like you gotta like have this unconditional love for yourself first. And honestly, I feel like loving yourself first can mitigate so many issues in this world. Through loving yourself, you know your worth, you know, you're confident, you know what you bring to the table, you don't put up with nothing. If people ain't coming correct, they better not come at all. Like, and last thing I'll say is like, for me personally, self-love is like, I literally think in like scenarios, but it's like it's me. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, it's like for me, like for example, if somebody like, oh, say it's a shorty I'm talking to, whatever, and she like, maybe she, I don't know, maybe they saying like, oh, what if she don't like what you got on, or she don't like this about you, whatever. It's like I love myself. It's like yeah, but what about this? It's like I love myself. It's like, oh, but yeah, but what if people don't like this about you? It's like I love myself. It's like that's literally my. It's like I don't care what like anybody else think. Honestly, I love myself. Like period, period. You know, and I know God love me. God's within me. Like yeah, self love has been the answer like to a lot of things for me. So, but yeah, yeah, that's part two for that. But yeah, that's all for now. Peace.